So, pizza, is it better in New York or Chicago?
Chicago.
Why?
Because I really only had vegan pizza in New York with you, so I never actually tried like real pizza in New York.
Yeah. So then you really don't.
But in Chicago, we have a lot of great pizza and pizza pies, like deep dish. It's not really
Yeah.
pizza, it's a pie, but it's still so delicious and so cheesy.
Yeah, so I wrote down a few things that I really love about Chicago. Summertime. I definitely think food is better in Chicago as a general rule. I think if you want the best of the best food, you can get it in New York. Like if you're paying hundreds of dollars for a plate, you can get some of the best food.
Chicago is definitely
New York.
becoming a culinary mecca because it's a lot cheaper to open restaurants here than New York and San Francisco. So a lot of these big name chefs that win all these, shows, like Food Network shows, they all come here and they open restaurants. So we get to try all their stuff and wait months and hours to get into their restaurants.
Yeah, and Yevi works in the nightlife industry, so she knows a good deal about these things. Chicago is great for that. I think Chicago is very underrated in general because everyone talks about LA and New York, but Chicago's in this middle area that's like affordable, has the beach,
it has everything.
The food, has some water. It's not as clean, and it's not ocean water, it's lake water. And I've probably pissed in it a couple times.
That's great.
And then it has wonderful architecture that you can actually enjoy while you're in the city, whereas New York has all these big buildings, but it doesn't, you can't enjoy it. You have to go to Brooklyn or New Jersey in order to enjoy it. So that's the things I like about Chicago. I think the only thing is wintertime. It's the only thing I really hate about Chicago.
You always forget about the trash thing. That's my main thing. Why I would never move to New York, because I don't like garbage on the streets.
Well, the reason why
Chicago is like cleaner.
The reason why I live in New York is actually just to do stand-up. I think New York is great, but it's way too overpriced and too expensive. A lot of people that live there, they're like living paycheck to paycheck, and if that, they're living with like 10 roommates. Whereas here, you could pay the same price, live in the city, and probably have, like if you pay $1,000, you can get a decent place in the city.
City, but yeah.
Yeah, but you can get it even on the north side. It's still connected. It's like it's still gonna take you less time to commute.
Speaking of commute, I think Chicago's public transportation is a lot better than New York's.
No, I actually disagree. Yeah, well, I agree in the sense that it's probably cleaner and more on time. I disagree in terms of the way it's laid out, because the one advantage New York has is that it has all these multiple train lines running through Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens. It's like it's much more accessible.
How's
but
Chicago not like that?
Because Chicago it only has like the red line that goes north to south, and then it has one line here. It doesn't have like lines spreading out on the west end. It's only on the east side.
The Green Line goes to the west side.
Yeah, but it's all the way on the west, and there's nothing in the middle. Like you have to still take a lot of buses to get places, whereas in New York, that's way more accessible. Yeah, I know. And trust me, I hate the New York transit system. I think it doesn't come on time at all, and I hate that aspect of it. But it's everywhere, and when it works all the time. It's 24/7, and if you're in the city, it's even better. Like, see, I love this. It's like we're right in downtown Chicago, and people are having a fucking picnic, and the city's right there, and you can go across the street.